back to do another video at that appointed time. Now, I've been watching some rapture videos, and a lot of people were speaking about the time, speaking about, clocks and stuff like that. And it just dawned on me that here in 2018, I had a vision. I really didn't know what it meant, but I knew I saw like a half a clock. I want to say it's like a half a clock, half a watch. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I noticed that the hands are on the quarter hands. When I did look up the half a clock, it was saying that it was a doomsday clock, basically. But when I saw the hands, they were on a quarter, like the quarter hour, and I really wasn't sure exactly. But when I made it to Satan's Kingdom, I received two newspaper clippings, and one of them was a doomsday clock, and it was actually a quarter clock that was shown. Now, in my vision that I saw, I believe it was a watch, but it was showing a half a watch. But this is what I drew. This drawing right here, it is a, as you can see, it's like seconds to 12 or something like that. And I drew this, it was 2018 is when I saw it. So what that means, I don't know, but I know it probably has a lot to do with the rapture. Also, I had another dream when I was in Satan's Kingdom that I saw a great shaking, like it was a really great shaking. And then I saw this, like, I want to say it was a map, and the map was like ripped in half. And then when I saw this great shaking, I saw a manhole. But it was not a normal manhole. It was like the square ones, like the big square ones, and there's two doors on it. And inside that manhole is like piping. It's like the huge piping with the huge nuts going all the way around it. And what I saw was like the dead rising up out of this manhole. Like there were like people in the colonial times coming up out of this hole, this manhole. I know that to be probably the rapture for people that are rising from the dead. But I seen people rising up out of this manhole. I seen myself as a shaman, but I also seen me have some type of medallion, look like a Mayan's sun or something like that. Dancing around and stuff like that. But I just thought it was kind of strange because I watched quite a few rapture videos, and the one thing that stuck out to me is when some of the children was talking about they seen a big clock, or they seen minutes to hands, but this specifically right here, with this clock, it's like minutes to 12, like seconds to 12. Now whether that's 12 a.m. in the morning or whether that's 12 in the afternoon, I don't know, but I know I drew this in 2018. This is when everything that was happening to me was at the spiritual peak, the spiritual height. But it got even more so when I was in Satan's Kingdom, seeing these things happen, with especially that dream when I saw a ripping of a map in half, and seeing seeing people coming up out of a manhole that was like the colonial dress, like knights and stuff like that, and all these fringes, you know, these long neck collars with the lace or whatever you want to call it around the neck. But I just seen people rising up from that. I mean, it's just as much as yeah. I was going to say something about, you know, my vision about me. It's extended, well, in between heaven and earth. And I'm suspended by lightning. But something strange happened. My friend was copying, printing up the rest of my book. And the very last picture I sent her was, and she said that the printer started acting up. I imagine she had already printed the other 8 or 10 pages. And then when it came to the one last piece that I really, really need for my book, and it was imagery that I saw on a shorts about Yeshua, and how you see Yeshua descending from the clouds and lightning. And I also received a vision, the same thing, descending from the clouds, but in light, you know, with lightning. And this one I found, and if you look at some of my videos, you'll see it where I'm holding it up. You just scan through my videos, you'll see me with the phone and I'm holding it up to my camera, and you'll see it. It's a picture. This video I found this year, 2025. But the drawing that I received, the vision from the Holy Spirit, that was in 2021 when I drew that picture, and they are exactly alike. I mean, exactly to almost every detail, you know, in surroundings and the way that it looks. I believe when she's tried to get her printer to work, it did not want to work. The printer did not want to work and print this last part of my book, which was 1 page, and it was my drawing and what was sent to me, the vision that was sent to me, and what I saw on a YouTube Shorts. For some reason, it did not want to print it, and the printer started acting up. So that's pretty much, that's this is a heavy stone, or a heavy pillar, a granite, you know, and that's a major part of my book. It just is the 2 time differences, you know, 4 years apart, that the vision I had, and then seeing this 4 years later in 2025, and seeing it, you know, on a video, my exact vision. But for the printer not to work, not to want to work, yeah, that's some major stuff that the demonic realm don't want to get out, want me to put out, or want it to be shown. So, and especially to come, you know, into well, it's actually 2D. the drawing is 2D. I had already drew it, but so far as taking those two and putting them together on one page, yeah, it wasn't having it. But I wanted to just come on and do this little short video because I thought it was really, really, it came to my subconscious yesterday that about the clock, and I seen that half a watch that was in my vision. And I'm hearing children talking about they see a big clock in the sky and these things like that. And I saw that vision, basically end times, and basically pretty much doomsday clock, doomsday, judgment. So, well, when there is something else for me to talk about, I will come on if the Holy Spirit permits it. Ain't too long. It's not too long from now. I would say, love each other like you love yourself. Learn to forgive and let live and let go. For this is your salvation. For if you do not do these things, you will not be welcome into the Holy Spirit's house. There was another thing. I found it kind of odd this morning about this dream. I wind up standing in front of a teller behind some glass, and the teller happened to be Steve Harvey. And then all of a sudden I received a piece of paper that I needed to sign, and it was signing for $100 million. And I seen them bring out these two big blue cases, look like suitcases, but they were like some type of material, like some type of transporting material, like what you would, I don't know, maybe something with a bomb or something. I don't know. I can't say. But it was just weird that it was some transported cases, because this is what they were putting the money in. And I seen these two mailmen, or they were dressed like mailmen, and I'm not sure, but it looked like they were mailmen, but they were looked like they were planning to try to rob the place where I was in my dream. And I could see the greed on the people's face. I could see the greed on their face. I also saw Michael Jai White in my dream as well, and he was like a friend of mine and in the dream. And I was talking about he was standing someplace like Work to Live, like he took care of the place and cleaned the pools and stuff like that. And I was talking about this house that was sitting on this lake, and he was talking about how mean the man was and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I really want to buy that small place. I've been looking at it for years, but I can just see the greed on the people's face that was around or was with me, and how this other one was talking about how she took care of me and how she took care of, how her sister didn't treat me right and this and that. It was just you could just tell that the demeanor of the people that changed, that was around me, that was with me. It was $100 million that I was signing for. Literally signed the paper and gave it back to him. And they just start bringing out like stacks and stacks and stacks of money, just stacks of money, and put it in these blue cases, look like suitcases, but they were made of some type of material. Could have been some kind of hard, like plastic or something like that, but I get it was in people like that, they'd have to escort you, and they have, some kind of guard or something to escort you when you have all this kind of money. But it's like Steve Harvey was standing in front of me behind this glass in this window, and I signed a paper, but the first thing I thought when I woke up was like, this money is worthless, because when money is involved with humanity, people forget about the one being that makes all things possible. They forget about the Holy Spirit. And when you receive money like this, your life is so consumed and so busy that the one being you forget, it's like it's not even there anymore, like it doesn't exist. There's not enough money on this entire earth for me to trade the Holy Spirit for. And this is what I thought, I'd rather have my seat in the heavenly realm, because that's not enough money in the entire world that would make me, because you will forget about the Holy Spirit. You won't spend as much time as you do, sure, it's a tool, sure, it's nice, but it's really not all that. I've never really fancied money. I never really cared about the dollar. I never really cared about the money, because it's nothing. It as quick as it comes in your hand, as quick as it leaves. What's the use in having that kind of money and you have everything, but then you're still lost, you're still miserable? I would rather have the love and stability and the relationship and the compassion with the Holy Spirit versus having a lot of money. Because that money is not going to make you happy. Sure, for a short time, but then when you have everything you want, what do you do next? What do you do then? Because that sure is not going to get you into the Holy Spirit's house. Because your life will be so consumed with going here, going there, to and fro, doing this, doing that. I mean, it's just, to me, it's retarded. I think it's really stupid, because you miss the point of enjoyment. You miss it. And I'd rather be broke and filled with the Holy Spirit and be content and happy than to be rich and miserable and not have time for the Holy Spirit. And then all of a sudden, you have all this money, and then the Holy Spirit just dwindles in the background. If it wasn't for the Holy Spirit, we would not be here. We wouldn't be here. We would be, I don't know. But I know what I saw in my dream this morning with all this money. I woke up this morning, I was like, That's not what I want. Because that can't give me the eternal peace. That can't give me that can't give me the love that I need. That can't give me the justification. That can't give me the justification of what I've been through, what this world has put me through, what the system has put me through, how the system has wronged me, how the system has literally framed me for things that I've never done, how there are so-called innocent bystanders that, see something and it's really not what they see. Why then you wind up getting hung for something that you never done. And then you get made out to be someone who you're not. The world has really done a number on me. But no matter how much money that this would be offered to me, it's not enough for my salvation, and it's not enough for, there's no amount of money that can take my attention away from the Holy Spirit, or take my heart away from the Holy Spirit, or take my love away from the Holy Spirit, or take my unity and fullness and wholeness of the Holy Spirit. I would rather be sitting on my throne with my crown, not on this earth, because I despise this earth, and I despise what it has become. A cesspool of evil. And to be honest with you, I would never revive this earth. I would put it in darkness and put it in an area that no being can ever reach it. And whom is left on this earth will be left on this earth. I would not ever revive this earth. I would take the spirit from this earth and move the spirit, because it's received enough blood, received enough demonic activity from the jinns that have been buried in the Euphrates. This will be a dying planet when I get done. And it will sit in darkness for all of eternity. I would never make this my home, ever. And I'm saying never. I would never call this place a kingdom for me not to reign on. I will never, ever reign on blood or death. It will become a wasteland of darkness for the wretched beings that has confiscated it and turned it into a cesspool of demonic activity. This would not ever be my kingdom. Ever. Not even the throne that they're trying to make in Israel would make me want to be here. And this is straight from the Holy Spirit. This has been my time. The one.